Welcome to Book Talk for Book Talk with Jack and Amy, a literary podcast where we deep dive into the writing of your favorite novels. This is Jack.
And I'm Amy. And during this season of Book Club, we're stepping away on Thursdays to explore topics we've recently written about on the Subtext Society Journal. This week, we're discussing feminism in Romantasy, a place where feminism thrives or goes to die.
SSJ, or the Subtext Society Journal, is a space for critical thinking and cultural reflection on the genres that are too often dismissed, including romance, romantasy, fanfiction, and the narratives that live rent-free in our hearts and minds.
We are creating a bridge between academic analysis and the everyday reading experience, between highbrow literary commentary and the deeply personal way books shape who we are.
We publish thoughtful essays from our readers, ourselves, and guest contributors that explore the moral questions, genre evolutions, and cultural conversations happening in real time.
We are redefining what deserves serious attention in publishing, and we're doing it with feeling.
The views expressed in this episode are entirely our own and are not meant to represent the larger opinion of the bookish community. This podcast is a discussion shared to spark thought and conversation. Readers and listeners are encouraged to share their own analysis and thoughts.
Explicit language, as well as themes of sex, violence, abuse, depression, self-harm, and death will recur throughout this podcast. Listener discretion is advised.
Okay. Round 2 of Subtext Society Journal. This week we are reading something that Amy wrote.
Yes, it is our first article on the Subtext Society Journal titled The Impact of Romance Novel. Nope, that's the wrong one. That is not mine. That's next week. Oh, here it is. I opened the wrong tab. Okay, it is the first article titled Romantasy, the Next Frontier of Feminism, or Where Feminism Goes to Die? Question mark.
Eh? Some hot topics.
Some hot takes.
Yeah, I mean, hot takes, but I think you made a great argument in this. I think that there's been many instances that just time and time again proves what you wrote in your article.
Yes, and, we're going to start general, and then maybe we'll creep our way into some specifics. But I feel like every day of the week, I hear something from Jack about what's happening on BookTok or what's blowing up right now. What's the drama? What's the tea? And it's always another case of really, this is what we women are doing to each other. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No one's more supportive and no one's more harmful sometimes than women to ourselves.
Yep. It's true. I'm not pointing any fingers to anyone in particular. I think we're all guilty of it, whether we know it or not.
I've got a list of TikTok accounts. No. It is something that we've talked a lot before on the podcast, and that is internalized misogyny. I do not blame anyone for having internalized misogyny because media was created by men, the society and patriarchy, we live in it. So yeah, we all have internalized misogyny. It is up to us to deprogram it and to listen when people point it out.
Yes. And to not immediately dismiss or discount it, because that's what the men do.
Be better than the men.
That's all I'm asking for.
Yeah.
So media as we know it today, media marketing. Jack works in marketing. She understands this concept very well.
Painfully so.
So Jack, talk to us about
media.
The ideology of media and marketing.
So when we talk about media, we, in this case, are talking about anything that is consumed for entertainment or just in your face in general. It's what you are consuming, be it through TV, through movies, through articles, through books, through anything that you are consuming as a viewer, listener, reader. Songs, anything. That is media.
Mm-hmm.
And
commercials, trailers.
Yeah. It's a lot of it is very much directed towards men. I mean, if you think back to even the 1950s, and beyond, where you had ads where it would be men literally stepping on top of a woman's head. It would be saying things like, get her a present she wants, like a dishwasher. It would be very busty women, and it evolved, right? It's not like it went away. It's just evolved in different forms. I think that in the 90s and the early 2000s and even the 2010s, that's how we and our generation of millennials grew up consuming that type of content. Think about every single Carl's Jr. commercial where you have a hot woman dancing around in like next to nothing, eating a burger, sexually explicit. It was Jessica Simpson and now it's Alex Earl. Like you just have these repeat offenders of such. And, I don't want to say that. No, I'll say it's harmful. Yeah, and I'll say it. Like that Carl's Jr. one really fucked me up with Jessica Simpson back in the day. And it makes me sad that women now have that with Alex Earl. And currently when we're recording this, we are recording this in November and Wicked just came out, and the amount of young girls and women who are viewing and being triggered just with how skinny Ariana Grande and Cynthia and everyone in the cast have become during recording. It's a lot of it. And it's not just weight, right? It's more than that. It's just everything you're consuming is built around ideologies that men have developed. Even, sorry, I'm just on a little rant now. Let me cook here. Even lately, I was on TikTok and it was this concept of why do we assume that 120 pounds is a healthy weight for women? Why is it that we grew up thinking if you weren't 120 pounds, you are overweight? Why is that the magical number that you need to be? The amount of times I've heard my mom, other women be like, I'm 135 pounds. And I'm like, bitch, my right foot is 135 pounds.
I haven't been 135 pounds since the 11th grade.
Yeah. And when you start looking into it, it was based off of a European study on men. And that's where they kind of came up with a general idea of BMI. And they're like, and men were like, yeah, no, that seems right. Women should be 120 pounds. That seems reasonable. So everything from medical science, quote unquote science, from like, even how much medicine and symptoms is been designed and built around men.
White men.
White men. Yep.
I saw something in a reel, I think, that was like, by the way, the same year Barbie, the movie, came out, 2023,
Mm-hmm.
was the first year tampons were actually tested on blood.
Yep. What the fuck?
Why are we putting that stuff up into our body if it's never been tested on blood or our bodies? Like, what the hell?
Well, I mean, and that's another example of media created by men. If you look at tampon and pad commercials, it's always a blue liquid that they pour over it because God
Mhm.
forbid women see representation of blood.
God
But you
forbid
can
men
men
see
might
the
see
blood.
reputation. Yeah, we see it monthly.
Yeah.
We're here. We know what we're dealing with. Every woman has talked about blood clots, and it's just been like, war stories of being like, I once passed a blood clot that was as big as my head, right? And like we all talk about it, but it's for men that even the commercials are built for their comfort.
Exactly. Exactly. I think about razor commercials all the
Oh,
time. Venus razor commercials from the 2000s
yeah.
all the time. And we are sold this idea, and it's always these beautiful women in these
Hmm.
skimpy swimsuits, and they're free of body hair, and they're loving life, and they're
Yeah.
glistening and tan. And that is what we are being sold. That is the male gaze of
Yep.
what a woman should look like. And we are conditioned to be like, well, if men want that, I need to look like that. I need to buy this product so I can be that attractive woman in a swimsuit who's confident,
So
who's
that
skinny.
I can attract a man. And this isn't
Exactly.
like modern thinking. This is coming down to as long as men have been in charge of money and power, women have used their looks and body as commodity to secure wealth and power and safety. Because
Hmm.
that's what it always came down to essentially was safety. If they were able to, whether it was their choice or their family's choice, let's be real, it was their family's choice. And, I do not blame women for these ideas of being programmed to strive to meet the male gaze.
Right. I mean, we have been conditioned really since hunters and gatherers, like who's got the best hips for
Yeah.
child rearing,
Woo,
right?
those are some childbearing hips if I've ever seen them. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. And that is just, we as women have been subjected to this, and it is translated from survival to security to attractiveness in our
Yeah.
media.
Which is attractiveness based around whiteness as well. It's
Mhm.
not just attractiveness, it's also now circling around, white beauty and dismisses any kind of other beauty from other cultures, other body types, any other races.
I grew up in China where, since I was a young child, everything is about white. They don't use this as much anymore. Now it's brightening, but it
Mm,
used to be whitening.
mhm.
Lotion, beauty products, face wash, anything that could whiten your skin.
Yeah.
And Southern Chinese are looked down upon more than Northern Chinese, because Southern Chinese are more in the sun, more labor intensive, therefore darker skinned. And my
Mhm.
sisters, being from Southern China, are darker skinned and they're viewed as less beautiful because they tan easily.
And you kind of have this like Western beauty standard that not only idolizes white beauty, dips into culture, other cultural beauties, like trying to get tan, like trying to get BBLs. But God forbid once you have a woman who, is likely Black, lightly Hispanic, lightly just not white, who has those features, then it becomes frowned upon, right?
Mhm.
So you have this world that's built around the white male gaze, around white beauty, and it seeps into our psyche. And it's then what we determine, not just of what you need to be, but how you value other women, and
Mhm.
whether you decide those women are of worth one way or another. And you might not feel like you do that with your friends, but you probably have done that one way in watching a movie or reading a book, and you might have looked at a, character, like the amount of people when Margot Robbie was casted for Barbie who said she's a little old.
Mhm. Mhm. I'll be honest, I thought that when they cast her for Wuthering Heights.
Oh, I definitely thought that. I 100% did, and I was like, I'm the problem.
I know.
This show is sponsored by Liquid IV. All right, what am I doing right now? What is this?
You are opening your Liquid IV packet.
It's my last Liquid IV packet. I need to buy more. I love my Liquid IV. I go through these daily. That is because Liquid IV helps me stay hydrated.
They have 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink, plus 8 vitamins and nutrients, all in a single stick.
One stick of Liquid IV and 16 ounces of water is more hydrating than water alone. Plus, it's tasty. And you get 100% of daily value of 4 essential B vitamins.
I am obsessed with Liquid IV's hydration multiplier because it's a science-backed formula that contains an optimized ratio of electrolytes, essential vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients. And I know I'm not getting enough nutrients, and Liquid IV makes the difference.
Plus, they're non-GMO, free from gluten, dairy, and soy, and no artificial colors or sweeteners. I'm starting to care more about the artificial colors, and they're everywhere.
They sure are.
Not in Liquid IV.
What's even better, you have so many flavors to choose from strawberry and lemon lime to passion fruit, tropical punch, and more.
Rehydrate with better hydration from Liquid IV. Tear, pour, live more. Go to liquidiv.com and get 20% off your first order with code BookTok at checkout.
That's 20% off your first order with code BookTalk, BookTalk, at liquidiv.com. I firmly believe in new year, new me, and that requires a wardrobe change.
It's actually cold in California. I am so excited because Quince has all of our staples covered, from soft Mongolian cashmere sweaters that feel like designer pieces without the markup, to 100% silk tops and skirts for easy dressing up, to perfectly cut denims for everyday wear.
I purposefully gave my partner my wool coat so I can get a Quince Italian wool coat because they are gorgeous. They're beautifully tailored, they're soft to the touch, and they're built to last years, not just one season.
That's because the quality shows in every detail. You can seriously tell with the stitch, with the fit, with the fabric. Every piece is thoughtfully designed.
Like everything from Quince, each piece is made with premium materials in ethical, trusted factories, which I love. Each piece is priced far below the cost of other luxury brands.
Refresh your wardrobe with Quince. Don't wait. Go to quince.com/booktalk for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada.
That's QUINCE.com/booktalk, BOOKTALK, to get free shipping and 365 days returns. So, what does this have to do with romantasy?
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's remember that the beautiful thing about romance is that it's written by women for women. And so it's one of the first media spaces, not the first, but among the first in modern memory,
Mm-hmm.
that is truly for the female gaze, for
Mm-hmm.
female or feminine joy. Now, romance has always been looked down upon. The bodice rippers with
Harlequin romance with
right,
Fabio. Yeah.
right on the front cover. That's a guilty pleasure that women are not often vocal about.
Mm-hmm.
Then comes romantasy, where we take the traditionally quote unquote male genre of fantasy, combine it with the women's genre of romance, and we've kind of claimed a space for ourselves that we love, but now publishers recognize,
Yeah.
oh, this is a moneymaker. Because why? Because women fuel the economy. Just look at Taylor Swift Eras
Yeah.
Tour. Women who have disposable income are more likely to spend it and fuel our economy.
As a marketer, I'm going to step in here. Not just disposable income, but women are the driving force in most households on what is to be spent and purchased on. So, even like disposable income, yeah, women be the one to spend it. And even in, tighter households with more restricted budget, women are still the driving force behind what to purchase on that.
Right. What
What
groceries?
groceries? No, even products that are quote unquote for men, the number one purchasers are probably still women because they are making those choices.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
One more thing, the book industry is held up
Mm-hmm.
by romance and now romantasy, but the book industry is alive. And I don't mean that just in recent years. That's been like that for decades. You can get bookstores because of the romance genre. Publishing, every book is not a bestseller, right? Every book
Mm-hmm.
is not selling hundreds and thousands of copies. But what is consistent are romance books. You're going to get more of that sold than whatever latest thriller mystery a man wrote.
Exactly. So there are subgenres in romance, and those ebb and flow, right? We're seeing a decline in historical romance, seeing an uptick in romantasy or fantasy romance. But at the end of the day, it's about these publishing industries, these publishing houses capitalizing on the interest of women and where they will direct their money.
Yep.
So that's kind of the stage on which we are starting this conversation 20 minutes in. Now, is it that, some people will say, well, there's just been a sudden surge in romantasy, which
Mhm.
is not really the case, right? Romantasy has been romantasy since before the word romantasy existed. there have been books.
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
I could make an argument there. Not even a hard one. It's just there.
I totally agree. It's just now that men are paying attention
Mhm.
and they have to call it something because they're going to capitalize on it. There's a lot of publishing houses that previously did not have space for romantasy novels in their distribution, but now they're making space.
Yep.
They're making space for romance. They're making space for romantasy because those are the moneymakers.
Yep.
So, why is it, as women, with this proliferation of romance and romantasy and the continued increase, we are so hypercritical of what's being put on the bookshelf?
I would like to point out another thing I saw on TikTok. God, I love TikTok so much. There's the conversation of the fact that the majority of Americans do not read beyond a 5th or 6th grade reading comprehension level. And there's an actual like Lex something, there's like a scale that you can determine. And the video was ACOTAR is a 5th grade reading level. And yeah, like it is based off of like the content. Is it 5th grade? Is it not 5th grade? Obviously, you don't want a 5th grader reading it, but when you look at vocabulary, when you look at all these other things, yes, it's at a 5th, quote unquote, 5th grade reading level. That was like her argument as to why it's not good. And then there was another woman who kind of stitched that and she was like, do you want to know what else is a 5th grade reading level? Dune, all of
Mhm,
Stephen King. The
mhm.
majority of books out there are at a 5th grade reading level.
Because it's accessible.
Yeah. Accessibility. Yeah.
We want people to read.
Mhm.
I don't fucking want to read at the level of some of these traditional, like capital R romance or the greats that people idolize. And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
No, I, it,
I
I want to enjoy it.
the highest level that I was like looking into it, and it's like one of the highest levels of reading comprehension is the Declaration of Independence. Have you read
Which
that? It's boring.
which recently AI detecting software said is 96% written by AI.
You know what? I'd believe it with the way that their things have been ignoring it left and right and calling for it to change. Fucking hell. Anyway, yeah, it is. Sorry, the amount of like men who are rooting for to take away the 19th Amendment,
I
women's
don't
right to
remember.
vote.
Oh, of course.
But it's interesting that the videos that I tend to catch that shit on the genre, and this is such a generalization of what I'm seeing on my feed, but I tend to always see women being the ones who will harp on why like this like this genre sucks. I can't, this is why it disgraces women were never going to beat the allegations that romantasy isn't smart. Oh my god, I can't stand it. Why can't women have better interests? This FMC sucks. This FMC is so whiny and annoying. We've heard it all.
Riddle me this.
Mhm.
While women are complaining about romantasy and romantasy or romance readers, why is it that the men are cosplaying and reading these books aloud?
Because they get to make money from it.
Because they can make money off of us.
Yeah.
And instead of us supporting women's interests,
Mhm.
we're here criticizing it, but not doing our due diligence in terms of like the reading comprehension level.
Yeah.
Just because you don't like it doesn't mean that all women should hate it.
It is fascinating the way that women treat FMCs in general, but
Hmm.
FMCs when it comes to romantasy, no. Hell no, they do not like them at all. I have yet to read a single book that does not have someone in the Goodreads saying the character was so dumb. She just made so
Mhm.
many stupid choices.
It makes me think of DM in Spark of the Everflame and how
Mhm.
everyone was like, oh my God, she's such an idiot. How did she not figure this out? Why does she keep making the same mistakes? Yada, yada, yada. You're telling me Frodo and Bilbo Baggins didn't make the same mistakes over and over again?
They couldn't even walk to a fucking mountain. They couldn't even get there on time. Here's a suggestion. Walk directly there. One of my favorite trends I've also seen where it's like, look, I'm obviously not an athlete, but if I was a football player, I would just run until I get a touchdown. Like, it's hard. Yeah, there's just so many things and so many times that men are stupid too. Okay, let's look at a beloved classic, The Mummy. We've all seen The Mummy, and if you haven't, I highly recommend it. But you can't tell me that Brandon Fraser's character was perfect and made the smart choice every single time. Like,
He was
you
a himbo.
God, a great one. But yeah, like a total himbo. He started out in jail. He's, like he's a gambler. He's kind of, dealing through alcoholism. Like there's a lot of other things that is going on there, but like we don't reflect on these male characters and think, God, they've made so many mistakes. We don't look at Luther from Spark and the Everflame and roll off all of his mistakes. Just I mean, some people were. There was some annoying shit where it's like, stop hiding shit, Luther. But you hear people being mad at Reese, but God, the fact that, Farah just can't read and Farah is so
Feyre can't
stupid.
paint.
Yeah. Like you got the Reese haters, but you got a lot more Farah haters.
Right. I mean, at the end of the day, the number of Reese haters plus the number of Tamlin haters equals the number of Feyre haters, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
The amount of times that we have said something critical about a male character and we get an onslaught of messages that are like, you're not looking at this, blah, blah, blah. Whether it's even Tamlin, even Reese, even, God forbid, Rowan. The fact that I've said things about Rowan that I don't like that he punched a woman, that he punched Aelin, and the amount of backlash I got for it versus if I were to have said, I think it's really fucked up what Aelin said at that moment, or I think Aelin is a kind of annoying. You would not get that same, I highly doubt I would have gotten that same response. I know that because we've been very critical of the women, like any character on the
Mhm.
podcast, and we only hear back from listeners when they think we're being too hard on men. Love you, listeners. Love you
Love you
guys.
guys, but it's true.
Yeah.
We're not called fake feminists when we call out Feyre or Bryce or Aelin for their mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
We are called fake feminists
Yeah.
when we call out Rowan for his mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah. Like that's the women are protecting men. Now, whether it's these male characters or it's men in real life, the amount of boy moms I've seen, like there was one man who he was 17, had a history of sexually assaulting girlfriends horrifically, like almost killed them, like choked them out, horrible rape, like absolutely horrible. And his mom was like upstairs when it would happen ignoring it, and then tried to protect her son when he was arrested. And by the way, he was charged as a minor. He was 17 because they didn't want I mean, what remember that other swimmer? He was in
Mhm.
college who
Mhm.
sexually assaulted a woman and they didn't want to ruin his swimming career.
Mhm.
It's, we as a society are filtered around protecting men. They're protecting Johnny Depp. No one protected Amber Heard.
Mhm.
And that's the thing where I mean, we see that in real life society, and then I see it reflected in the way that readers protect these books and these characters.
If people feel attacked right now, we're not attacking you personally. We're calling out all of us,
Yeah.
including ourselves, because we're also guilty of it.
The way that I, in the past, went after Bella from Twilight during
Mhm.
my early
Same.
baby feminist years, the way that I went after it and just talked about how horrible she was of 50 Shades of Grey, Anastasia, the way that I went in on these women. I did it. I have done that. And, I have to constantly check myself. If there's a female character I don't like, why do I not like it? And, we are not above, no one is above internalized misogyny. And you will never get to a point where you don't have it. You will only get to a point where you're better at checking yourself.
Right. Better at recognizing it in yourself as well as
Mhm.
the people around you.
Mhm.
If we lived in a world where little girls, where teenagers were not taught to tear each other down so that they could win the guy, so
Mhm.
that they could be prom queen, then we can talk about, maybe there's no such thing as internalized misogyny. But until that point, it is a systemic thing that is ingrained in us. It is pervasive.
So let's talk a little bit about this dynamic of in books when we see that there's a threat. Fourth Wing in the second book, there's a character that's introduced that Violet is threatened by.
Mm-hmm.
Understandably so, because this character is wielding around sex and everything and is trying to make a point. And then eventually it was, well, I'm just in it to be a ruler or something. And Rebecca Yarros made a comment of like, it's not like she wasn't there to get the guy back. And it's like, she showed up in a nightgown, like at his door. You know what I mean? Like, you don't get to make that a threat and then also be like, she was there for something else. And the thing is, there is a reality to that where there are women who we are threatened by, sometimes very justifiably so. Sometimes we have to like check ourselves. Like one of my exes, his best friend is a woman, and I had to like make sure that I was going to be okay with it. And I'm like, okay, I will not be threatened by this. I made a very conscious choice and I was not threatened by it. And then there's been other times where I'd be like, so did you sleep with her? Like different women and stuff, where all of a sudden like my own internal, like my own jealousy would pop up. So I think it's like very normal to have these things that we see in books and media where we can relate to that jealousy. But like, where's that line? You know what I mean? Like, and where's the line of women who are developed characters, who are jealous, who are trying to get the guy or something? You know what I mean? I don't know if I have the answer, which is kind of shitty because I am writing a book that features two women involved in this. I wouldn't necessarily call it a love triangle, but it's just like, it's like a love threatened triangle. But like, there's a balance that needs to be struck, and I can't say that I've struck that balance.
And I don't know that I've seen that balance really struck anywhere.
Uh-huh.
Not effectively.
Grab a snack, stretch your legs, and listen to this while we plot our next move. Here's the thing about New Year's resolutions. Nearly 80% fail by February. And it's not because people lack willpower, it's because they lack data.
Things like leptin resistance, thyroid dysfunction, chronic inflammation, or hormone imbalances, these hidden issues can derail even your best efforts to get healthier or feel better when you realize what's going on.
This year, my focus is really getting my blood work in line, especially when it comes to heart health. That's been a big issue for me, and I know I need to go back and get tested in April. That's exactly why I chose Function. It's the only health platform giving you access to over 160 biomarkers, covering everything from hormones and metabolism to heart health, inflammation, stress markers, and toxins.
You can even add MRI and chest CT imaging, and it's all tracked in one secure place over time. It's the kind of comprehensive view of your health that most people never get to access.
There's a reason why top health leaders are all behind Function. When you stop guessing and start measuring, everything changes. Your health goals actually have a foundation to build on. So this year, don't rely on guesswork. Get your data, track what matters, and make resolutions based on your biology.
Own your health for $365 a year. That's $1 a day. Learn more and join using our link. Visit functionhealth.com/booktalk or use the code BookTalk25, that's BOOKTALK 25, for a $25 credit toward your membership. One of the things that was really hard to learn about banking as a young 20-something was how to avoid overdraft fees and building enough credit to actually have a credit card. There are so many ways Chime is making banking stress-free. They don't charge you fees for banking with them, and they provide you overdraft coverage. And on top of that, you can build credit without the worry about a regular credit card.
There's a reason why Chime is rated 5 stars by USA Today for customer service, because they offer real humans 24/7. I can't tell you the amount of times I have called my bank crying because I cannot stop talking to the robot who cannot help me.
I personally feel like every 20-something-year-old out there needs a Chime card. It's a great way to build credit history with your own money that you're actually earning, and you get rewarded every day.
And for those of us who might not be 20 something, still highly recommend it because of the no annual fees, no interest, no strings attached. And when you qualify for direct deposits, you get 1.5% cash back on eligible Chime card purchases. That's good for anyone.
It's good for everyone.
Chime is not just smarter banking, it is the most rewarding way to bank. Join the millions who are already banking fee-free today.
It just takes a few minutes to sign up. Head to chime.com/booktalk, BOOKTALK.
That's chime.com/booktalk.
Chime is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services, a secured Chime Visa credit card, and MyPay line of credit provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. MyPay eligibility requirements apply, and credit limit ranges $20 to $500. Optional services and products may have fees or charges. See chime.com/fees info. Advertised annual percentage yield with Chime Plus status only. Otherwise, 1.00% APY applies. No min balance required. Chime card on-time payment history may have a positive impact on your credit score. Results may vary. See chime.com for details and applicable terms.
So, we've been reading Heir of Fire, and it always takes me back to Throne of Glass and the introduction to Keltaine and how we shit on Keltaine because she's a woman trying to survive and make it in her world.
Yep. God, that's another thing. We defended Keltaine, and and people weren't happy about that.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, that was another one that we would defend Keltaine of saying, like, yeah, that was kind of shitty for Selena to, like, jump on her like that. And then someone was like, she tried to get her killed. She tried to kill her. And my response was, she was possessed.
Yeah.
Like, and their response was, it's not possession. It's a ring that's telling them what to do. I'm like, I don't think no, she was possessed, guys. Like, okay, so was she possessed by a ghost in that traditional sense? No, but did she have a ring that was seeping into her that took away her will and choice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Told her what to do. She had no agency.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was another one that, like, we defend a woman that people don't like, and then fake feminists. We were fake feminists.
What's another good example?
Of love triangles or?
No, I'm just thinking of female characters women don't like.
Nesta.
Nesta was the next one to come to mind. And what does that say about these characters that we don't like? Is it because they make us uncomfortable? Because honestly, I think that's what it comes down to. Like, I'm going to go back to Diem in Spark of the Everflame. You didn't like her mistakes because it made you uncomfortable. Because you couldn't control the situation. I just finished reading Silver Elite. The last couple hours of that, I was so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I was so uncomfortable. That's a conversation for us next week. But why does that mean automatic dislike of a character? That's not true in this case for me, but I imagine it's probably true for some other readers.
I'm just, like, looking at my bookcase, and I've seen it for Forbidden Alchemy. I've seen it for Quicksilver. I've seen it for Bride. I've seen it for, I mean, I can just, like, look at my bookcase and just start reciting all these characters that people don't like. I think what it also comes down to is this idea of miscommunication tropes. And when life is a miscommunication, like, the only true miscommunication, like, the one that, like, that hurts me is the guy is speaking to his friend and says something like, I love her, but not as much as I used to love my ex. And then she runs away. And then the next thing he says is something I would never say. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Like, those are the kinds of miscommunication that I can't handle. But that's not what we typically see in Romantasy. It's more of like, they don't want to say something because they're afraid. They don't want to ask something because they're afraid. And that's where it comes down to, like, oh, they're so weak. They're so scared. They're so blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, but would you?
Yeah.
Would you say something?
Right. Or even if you would in that situation, you can't tell me there's never been an instance in your life where you've held back because you were afraid of how the other person would react.
Being afraid, like my ex, one of them, there was a big conversation that I knew if I had, there's a chance we'd break up. And I think everyone's been in that situation where it's like you're in a relationship and you're like, if I bring this up, there's a world we break up. And that's scary. And I think that that's reflected in a lot of these books, right? It's
Mhm.
if I bring up this conversation, then we may not go and save the day. You may not look at me as the hero that I am. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
and I think that that's like one of the things that people can't stand is our characters that are afraid to have the big conversation. And it's just so easy because we get to be on the male's point of view, or we get to see little clues that he's into her, and we get to see these things of like, obviously he loves you, right?
Mhm.
That's not our reality. That is not our world. We do not know when someone cares for us. Even when we know they do, we can't guarantee that they're going to stick around.
Right. Right. That's why we have therapy, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why therapists make money.
Yep.
How can we get past this? You know, I was thinking the other day about how when we were talking about ACOTAR, everyone's joke on TikTok at the time was Favor can't really paint.
We made that joke
We made that.
too.
If it was a male character, would we have questioned whether they? No, we would have been like, yeah, he's good at painting.
Mhm.
But because it's a woman, to what extent did we feel the need to be like, nah, we can't take her at her word?
We diminish the joy of the characters from the books that we enjoy that other people try to diminish.
Is that a defense mechanism?
Is that just not us not knowing how to deprogram anything? I think the best that I would recommend is if there's a character that we don't like, don't say, I don't like him or I don't like her. Don't say she's annoying. Articulate it.
Yeah.
I don't like that she did X, Y, and Z because I felt X, Y, and Z. Finish the thought.
Yeah.
See the thought all the way through.
Yep. And is it coherent? So one great example, and I wrote a completely different article on this, is
Mhm.
Siona Freynen from
Mhm.
Blood Over Brighthaven. I know we talked about this in the Blood Over Brighthaven book club episode, but so many people don't like Siona Freynen.
Yeah.
Women do not like Siona Freynen.
Mhm.
Is it because she's successful? Is it because she doesn't think about the consequences to her actions?
Yeah.
What about her do you not like?
Yeah.
And is it because something about her reflects you?
I mean, all of the above, right? And that's the thing where it's like follow up with the because, right?
Mhm.
I'm going to pretend to be someone. I liked that book. I liked Siona. But if I wanted to be on the other side of someone, I could say, I don't like Siona because she ignored Tommel and those around her. Well, now you just like you're able to at least articulate what you don't like, and it goes beyond, well, she's annoying or she's frustrating. But then you also kind of have to explore that, right? I don't like her because she didn't help Tommel. Okay, well, let's dive into that more. That she does help Tommel in the end, but then she also doesn't. And why is that hurtful? Why do you not like that she didn't help Tommel? Would you have helped Tommel? Do you help Tommels in your everyday life?
Mhm. It's another example. I don't like Siona Freynen because she is neglectful of her aunt and cousin.
Hmm.
Okay. So you're telling me there aren't family members in your life that you neglect or don't neglect? How do you feel about the fact that Winnie and Elba just abandon her
Yeah.
and judge her and don't hear
Which
her out?
is equally like they neglect her right back at when she needs her. It's like when we started Throne of Glass, I talked about how I really struggled relating to Selena early on.
Mhm.
Like when I first read it, I didn't really care for her. And then as we were talking about it, I was like, oh, it's because I related to her too much. And I accepted that. Or recently we did Phantasma. I don't know when that comes out in correlation to this. I think next, who knows? But when we talk about Phantasma, I know it hasn't come out yet in the publication order.
This comes out right after Phantasma.
Oh, good. So now I can spoil that. So we talk about Phantasma, and I talk about not liking her sister and that she really bugged me. Okay, so let's follow that thought that, like, let's continue that. Well, I think I actually kind of expressed, you could probably catch on in that episode why I didn't like her, because I didn't like that she made choices that impacted her older sister, thinking that she was helping when it was more selfish. And I can tell you that I don't like that, because I'm someone who's had a lot of responsibilities in my family. And I can also tell you, it took me a long time to accept that it was not expected on, and I know some of my cousins are listen to this. So, like, sorry guys, but I talked to your mom about it, so she gets it. It was not expected of my other cousins to be 16 years old, to drive to a different state, and to be with my grandparents when they were getting surgery alone and taking care of them. It was not expected of my cousins to be there every single time. It was not expected of my cousins to help to go to the Mayo Clinic and take courses on how to help my grandma for when she got her kidney transplant. And I went to every week for 5 weeks. It was not expected of them. And it took a long time for me to accept that, that was expected of me, because I am my mother's daughter and I'm one of the older ones, and location and a lot of other reasons. And that can also tell me exactly why I did not like Ophelia's sister in Phantasma, because those were the reasons where I was like, I am being triggered here. But again, follow it through. I'm not just going to look at her and be like, she's annoying. It's like,
Right.
remind me of triggers.
She's flighty. She's the popular girl. She doesn't tell her sister her secrets. It's not because of that. It's because of a very triggering experience.
Yeah. I don't leave reviews, but if I were going to, I would not discount the sister's character and saying this book was worse because of the character.
If anything, kudos to Kaylee
Yeah.
for triggering you.
Great. Yeah, I love it. Big fan of being triggered. No, but it's true.
No, but just to have created a character that reflects
that I have a reaction to.
That that reflects lived experience.
That I have a reaction to. And I mean, that's like when we were talking about Ophelia's mom, and you had a different reaction, I had a different reaction. And yeah, like we might say, I wish the character was more developed, I wish we got more of these other things. But can you remove your criticism, or rather evolve your criticism beyond they're annoying to what is it about this character that I am just not connecting with?
Right, because to leave it at the surface level, quite frankly, in my opinion, and this isn't right, this is probably a wrong opinion, but it's my opinion nonetheless, to leave it at, well, they're just annoying, is like being rejected by the hot guy at school who never gave you the opportunity, who never talked to you to get to know you and the ins and outs of you, just said at a surface level, well, I don't like the way she laughs. I don't like the way she talks. I don't like these things that are not fundamental to who you are.
Yeah, not at all. It's, it's so funny because like now we're thinking about characters. A lot of people did not like The Blood of Hercules, which again, I'll ride for that book till the bitter end. I love that book so much. And there's reasons why I can understand why people don't like God, I can't remember her name, but the FMC there.
Lyra.
Yeah. I understand why people may not have connected with her, but I don't see conversations following the thought beyond she's annoying, beyond this is stupid, she can't she can't finish a thought, beyond all these other things, right? Like they don't see it's the she's annoying, follow the thought. That is part of this podcast of literary criticism, literary analysis, is being able to follow the thought.
Feminism does not mean we sing kumbayas with everybody. That's
You don't have to support every woman. Nope. There are plenty of women who I'm like, I will not support you. I mean, I would never wish violence or pain to them, but like, no, you do not have my support.
so a lot of reviews will slam authors for certain things. So, for example, if we go back to Blood of Hercules, it's all kind of, I haven't seen it physically. I have it here.
Go ahead and pull it up.
Who said that there's no
Paragraphs.
paragraph breaks?
Another woman on TikTok. Or no, that there are too many, like there are no paragraphs. It's just all next sentence, next sentence, next sentence. But so does Throne of Glass and Heir of Fire.
Each sentence is its own paragraph. So instead of slamming Jasmine Moss, which people do, she doesn't know how to write, think about, is there structurally a reason for this?
Hold on, let me grab this other book. Oh God, I hope nothing falls.
It's a new year, new me, and I am hitting my 10,000 steps every day with Vionics.
Ooh, are you?
It's part of my fitness journey. I luckily have a walking pad, and my Vionics are so stylish I can wear them to work and feel comfortable walking in them all day. My brown suede Uptown sneakers are so cute, and they go with jeans, trousers, skirts, anything I want to wear to the office, they go with them.
Get those steps, get that fashion. Vionics exclusive VioMotion technology is what sets them apart. They began by revolutionizing medical orthotics, and today they continue to use that science to engineer shoes that leave you feeling energized and confident in Amy hitting her 10,000 steps a day.
They offer a 30-day guarantee, so you can wear them, love them, or return them for a full refund.
I have the VI Very Intelligent Dress Ramona, and those are some of the comfiest heels I have. It's a pump that balances the polished looks, but I've got arch support. I can stand in those bad boys.
You could probably run in them too.
You know what? I should test that.
Use code BookTok at checkout for 15% off your entire order at vionicshoes.com when you log into your account. It's a one-time use only, so get all the styles.
That's BookTok, BookTalk, at checkout for 15% off your entire order at vionicshoes.com. One-time use only. Vionic Shoes, wearable well-being for your feet. I had to face some serious health realizations last year. I knew I had to lose weight. And after spending 4 months with a nutritionist and only losing a single pound, I knew I needed the help. And that's why I started taking a GLP-1.
There's so many different services that help you get access to GLP-1s. Honestly, the easiest one I've used so far is Brillo.
It's already hard enough having to focus on getting your protein, making sure you work out enough. The last thing I need to stress about is getting my GLP-1, and Brillo makes the whole experience way easier.
Brillo also offers provider guidance the whole way through your journey, which guarantees that you're going to have the support you need throughout the whole process. They even give you access to a private online community so that you can talk to others who are going through the same experience, who can support you and keep you accountable.
I really appreciate that Brillo is so upfront with their pricing, and the fact that their GLP-1 plans start as low as $133 per month with a 3-month commitment. I really wish I knew that when I started this journey.
I would have saved so much money if I had just started with Brillo. Go to BrilloHealth.com today to see if you qualify. Use the promo code BookTalk at checkout to get your first 3 months for $133 per month. That's BrilloHealth.com, promo code BookTalk, BookTalk.
All patients must meet with a healthcare provider prior to any medication being prescribed or dispensed. Any medications ultimately dispensed to a patient will be done pursuant to a valid prescription from a healthcare provider. Compounded drug products are not FDA approved. FDA does not evaluate compounded products for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Compounded medications are not reviewed or verified by the FDA for safety, effectiveness, or quality, and are not FDA approved. Not available in all 50 states. This is a book Amy and I read back in the day. House of Leaves.
Oh my God, I love that book.
I love this book. There is no rhyme or reason to this book.
When the guy climbs the ladder, the words are in the shape of a ladder.
Every time they say the word blue, it's the color blue, and there's no reason for it.
It's just blue.
It's just blue.
There are random...
Turn this upside down, or I think this is the one where you have to put like a mirror to it in order to read it.
There's like 90 pages of footnotes that the first letter of each footnote spells out the author's name
Yeah.
for no reason.
This footnote is several pages long. Like, it is it is ridiculous. What the fuck? It's just it's just a few words. Hold on, one more. This page, this is so funny. Okay. This page, all it says is changes. This page is a box full of X's. With the center being bold X's. But do you know what we did with that? It's a literary masterpiece.
It is. It's considered a literary masterpiece because it was written by a man.
Yes. Guarantee if this was written by a woman, guarantee if House of Leaves was written by a woman, it would have been dismissed as a joke, as ridiculous. But because it was written by Mark, it's a masterpiece. And I can tell you, I thoroughly enjoyed House of Leaves.
Oh, it was so good.
It was so good.
I wish Mark was a woman.
God, I do too. But unfortunately, I mean, if Mark was a woman, I doubt it would have been published.
That's true. It's true. So our point is, instead of dismissing things right away, instead of leaving a 2-star review because you didn't like the vibes, we need to stop and think about, what was the author's intent? Did the author intend for me to be uncomfortable? And if the author intended me to be uncomfortable and I'm uncomfortable, they did their job.
Yeah. And if you are going to leave a 2-star review, because, you know, there are such things as bad books, follow the thought. It needs to be more than FMC is annoying. There is a book series out there that we will never discuss on this podcast because I don't know if I could discuss it seriously. And there's nothing wrong with it. I just, like there's, here's another one from Blood and Ash. There were a lot of structural issues, a lot of plot issues, a lot of character development issues. Was that in translation to she's annoying? It's more of like, no, that's more.
It's not the FMC's fault.
Yeah, it ends up being the author's fault. So if it's the author's fault, talk about the author. You're like, what'd you do this for? You know, it's not the FMC's fault that she was created by someone who did not follow through on character development.
But I think it also doesn't mean that we have to go and crucify these authors either.
No.
Right? There's something horrific about our society that we believe. I know this is going to be controversial to say, but there is a problem with cancel culture.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, I think we can almost unanimously. Some people absolutely deserve to be canceled. And then there's a lot that's like, are we not leaving room for growth?
Or conversation. You know, we don't all start out perfect. None of the characters start out perfect. We give them a chance to develop.
I'm going to pull up. Do you know someone who is problematic for very valid reasons, which, you know, if you want to know more about that, happy to explain to you guys later. It is something that makes me not like annoyed. Oh my God. But women are so fucking horny for him. Pierce Brown, Red Rising.
Oh, yeah.
I love the book Red Rising. It's a great book.
Such a good book.
It's such a good book. Unfortunately, the author's conventionally attractive. And God, does he know it. Oh my God. Okay, we interviewed this guy, Ben Mercer. He is a former rugby player who wrote a book, which I really liked his book. And we interviewed him forever ago. And he interviewed Pierce Brown in the UK. And the way Pierce Brown just goes and sits down, like he knows that he is absolutely loved and adored. And like he is. His book has a 4.27 rating, which again, understandable. It's a great book, but you don't have them being like,
this character's dumb. He keeps making the same mistakes over and over.
I really wanted to like this book. It's too bad. It's too horribly written, and the main character's wife gets frigid.
What? What?
Yeah.
Not even about the character is morally gray. The character makes stupid mistakes, and you're
What?
talking about the wife?
Frigid. Like, let's think about historically when that term is used. A lot of times they'd be like, she doesn't want to have sex because she's frigid.
Prude. She's
prudish.
Yeah, she's prudish.
What the ever living fuck was that rating, or was that like review? There's a lot of things. Now, he does talk about like that person was like the male character or the main character's underdeveloped. Okay, why did we leave off with the frigid wife? And also, why are we annoyed about the wife being frigid versus a lot of other things going on there? But yeah, it's like that's just a great example of a male author who wrote a great book, which is also at a 5th grade reading level, by the way. And yet people praise. Hold on, I want to find this fucking video. It just like blew my mind, where I was like, oh my God, it's going to be so maybe worth it. Okay. It's so annoying. Okay. Just the way he crosses his legs and then he makes everyone howl
Oh my goodness.
because they're all howlers. Wait, and he does it again.
Nope. Oh
It's
yeah,
like-
he is so into himself.
Which, like, I get. Like, I mean, I feel like women should be more into themselves. I feel like women should be more like, hey, you know what I mean? But, like, here's a generic, conventionally attractive man who wrote a good book. And, for the ego, and I don't want to assume anything, I'm really assuming a lot based on the way he sat down. So there's a lot of things here. But, someone was walking in there like they're over 5'8". Okay. Someone was walking in there with the confidence of someone who was 5'9", and I do not think that was the case.
He's walking in with the confidence of someone who thinks they're 6'4".
I know. Which, again, like, in many ways, he deserves it because he wrote an incredible book that is, extremely well loved, a best-selling series. Good for him. And again, he knows that he's attractive, and he is, and more women should feel that way. Like, I'm not undermining everything that he does. I just think it's, like, healthy to humble men sometimes.
It is. 100%.
He walks the walk for a reason. And again, there's a lot of other issues that I do have with him. For someone who writes a lot about colonialism and conquering nations, he really doesn't understand that in real world and genocide. But, there's a lot of other reasons I have issues with him. So I'm kind of like, okay, that I'm really shitting on him right now. But it just is like, it blows my mind. It's a very attractive two men talking, a lot of confidence, a lot of, they're that way for a reason.
Yep.
Why can't we be that way for a reason? And stop criticizing the wife for being frigid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've devolved. This conversation went in many directions, and that's okay.
Did you want to go back on track to something?
No, because I don't have an answer. The last question I have is how can we help feminism thrive in romantasy? First of all, don't call the romantasy girlies
stupid
or say there isn't much of a spark there. Don't say that.
Don't yuck people's yum. Start there. If you don't like something, that is 100% valid. If you don't like something, full stop. You don't have to explain it. You genuinely do not need to go beyond like, you know what? I just didn't like this book. And that is absolutely and utterly okay. You also do not need to make other women feel bad about liking it. There are a handful of books that I will not discuss on here because I don't want anyone to feel bad for liking it. And just because I did not have a great time with it doesn't mean that it should be yuck anyone's yum for liking it. So I think the first step is a lot of the problems that I see in society is taking away and diminishing female joy, be it reading, a genre, or even sex. The second we stop taking away female joy or trying to shit on it is a good first step.
Yeah. And if you are going to say you don't like something and you feel the need to tell us why. Don't be surface level.
Don't be surface level and don't be mean about it. It's okay for people to not like Romantasy, to say that it's not their cup of tea, to say that it is, to come in and to say that Romantasy doesn't represent inclusivity, that doesn't have a good representation, that like tends to sometimes play up the patriarchy or go into other very problematic issues that they don't follow through with. Valid.
Yeah.
Totally valid.
Yeah. If your issue is it glorifies colonialism, it glorifies the patriarchy,
it glorifies general whiteness in general and whitewashing of things, of cultures. Yeah.
That's a valid reason.
Those are valid reasons. You can also look at something and see valid reasons why women do like it. And you don't have to make it your personality that you don't like it.
To shit on it.
There's something about when people say that they don't like Romantasy, they turn it into their personalities. And no one should ever be defined by their dislikes. Only be defined by your likes and your kindness.
Mm-hmm.
You're allowed to have dislikes. Don't make that your personality. Yeah. You're more than that.
All right.
Like us lecturing to you for the past hour? All right. Did anyone enjoy the live?
No.
All right. Well,
that's all right.
That's for them.
Yep.
All right. Let's stop recording.
Oh, Colleen is here.
Colleen. Hey, Colleen, what'd you think? What'd you think?
She has been listening. Unlike Riverside, Patreon does not tell us if anybody is on the live unless they chat us. And when I end the live, it will tell me how many unique listeners or viewers were there, but it doesn't tell me during the live.
Colleen, thoughts, comments?
She said, I'm at work, so I've just been listening.
Oh, nice. Give her a minute in case she wants to add on to anything.
Oh, she's at work.
That's fine.
She
that's
doesn't
fair.
have to add.
She does. Well, okay. I just wanted to give her space, give her time if she wanted to. I don't want to rush her.
I like doing the live on Patreon because I get notifications when y'all go live.
Oh,
that is
nice.
one of the reasons why I tried to push us that way.
Yeah. All right. Well, on that note, I hope everyone enjoyed. This episode is currently being live streamed for our Patreon subscribers. So if you want to go watch a live stream, and they get to see this way before the episode comes out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And unedited and uncut.
And all of our stupid stuff in between.
Wait,
when we have too much mucus in our mouth. All right, Colleen, have a lovely day at work.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Book Talk for Book Talk with Jack and Amy. Next week, we'll be discussing An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir.
If you're enjoying the show, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. It really helps other readers find us. And of course, we'd love to hear what you thought of today's episode. Share your comments through our forum at booktalkforbooktalk.com, and we might feature your feedback in a future mini episode or in a Patreon exclusive episode.
For merch and more ways to support the show, head to booktalkforbooktalk.com. You can also follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at the handle BookTalk4BookTalk. And don't forget to join us by subscribing to the Subtext Society Journal.substack.com to get more insights into the romantasy and romance world. Bye.
Bye. I firmly believe in new year, new me, and that requires a wardrobe change.
It's actually cold in California. I am so excited because Quince has all of our staples covered. From soft Mongolian cashmere sweaters that feel like designer pieces without the markup, to 100% silk tops and skirts for easy dressing up, to perfectly cut denims for everyday wear.
I purposefully gave my partner my wool coat so I can get a Quince Italian wool coat because they are are gorgeous. They're beautifully tailored, they're soft to the touch, and they're built to last years, not just one season.
That's because the quality shows in every detail. You can seriously tell with the stitch, with the fit, with the fabric. Every piece is thoughtfully designed.
Like everything from Quince, each piece is made with premium materials in ethical, trusted factories, which I love. Each piece is priced far below the cost of other luxury brands.
Refresh your wardrobe with Quince. Don't wait. Go to quince.com/booktalk for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada.
That's QUINCE.com/booktalk, BOOKTALK, to get free shipping and 365 days returns. One of the things that was really hard to learn about banking as a young 20-something was how to avoid overdraft fees and building enough credit to actually have a credit card. There are so many ways Chime is making banking stress-free. They don't charge you fees for banking with them, and they provide you overdraft coverage. And on top of that, you can build credit without the worry about a regular credit card.
There's a reason why Chime is rated 5 stars by USA Today for customer service, because they offer real humans 24/7. I can't tell you the amount of times I have called my bank crying because I cannot stop talking to the robot who cannot help me.
I personally feel like every 20-something-year-old out there needs a Chime card. It's a great way to build credit history with your own money that you're actually earning, and you get rewarded every day.
And for those of us who might not be 20-something, still highly recommend it because of the no annual fees, no interest, no strings attached. And when you qualify for direct deposits, you get 1.5% cash back on eligible Chime card purchases. That's good for anyone.
It's good for everyone.
Chime is not just smarter banking. It is the most rewarding way to bank. Join the millions who are already banking fee-free today.
It just takes a few minutes to sign up. Head to chime.com/booktalk, BOOKTALK.
That's chime.com/booktalk.
Chime is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services, a secured Chime Visa credit card, and MyPay line of credit provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. MyPay eligibility requirements apply, and credit limit ranges $20 to $500. Optional services and products may have fees or charges. See chime.com/fees info. Advertised annual percentage yield with Chime Plus status only. Otherwise, 1.00% APY applies. No min balance required. Chime card on-time payment history may have a positive impact on your credit score. Results may vary. See chime.com for details and applicable terms.
I had to face some serious health realizations last year. I knew I had to lose weight. And after spending 4 months with a nutritionist and only losing a single pound, I knew I needed the help. And that's why I started taking a GLP-1.
There's so many different services that help you get access to GLP-1s. Honestly, the easiest one I've used so far is Brillo.
It's already hard enough having to focus on getting your protein, making sure you work out enough. The last thing I need to stress about is getting my GLP-1, and Brillo makes the whole experience way easier.
Brillo also offers provider guidance the whole way through your journey, which guarantees that you're going to have the support you need throughout the whole process. They even give you access to a private online community so that you can talk to others who are going through the same experience, who can support you and keep you accountable.
I really appreciate that Brillo is so upfront with their pricing, and the fact that their GLP-1 plans start as low as $133 per month with a 3-month commitment. I really wish I knew that when I started this journey.
I would have saved so much money if I had just started with Brillo. Go to BrilloHealth.com today to see if you qualify. Use the promo code BookTalk at checkout to get your first 3 months for $133 per month. That's BrilloHealth.com, promo code BookTalk, BOOKTALK.
All patients must meet with a healthcare provider prior to any medication being prescribed or dispensed. Any medications ultimately dispensed to a patient will be done pursuant to a valid prescription from a healthcare provider. Compounded drug products are not FDA approved. FDA does not evaluate compounded products for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Compounded medications are not reviewed or verified by the FDA for safety, effectiveness, or quality, and are not FDA approved. Not available in all 50 states.